Welcome back to
Loud.
Living Outside the Closet.
She told me I don't talk enough.
And she tells me I talk too much, but I say it's because she don't talk at all.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you when you're talking. That looks rude. So I'm going to talk more.
And you need to talk quicker.
And I'm going to talk quicker. I'm slow about everything like a little sloth. Okay, go.
I'm not talking as much today.
No, it's going to make me awkward.
Okay, well, welcome back to Living Outside the Closet. This is the 4th of July.
It is.
Happy 4th.
Everybody. Yay.
We aren't doing anything until later tonight.
No, we're going to grill, or she's going to grill. I'm going to cook some sides. And then we're going to play games with Leah and her friends. So.
Just watching you see how much you talk.
You're not going to do this because they're going to see us fight on there.
We don't fight.
Or they're going to see me get pissy.
Yeah, she'll get pissy. Today we're going to tell stories about when we were children.
Like embarrassing things when we were kids. What do we do?
Not much happened to me that was embarrassing.
Well, your collection.
But like, it's not embarrassing. Like, you have a bunch of stories to tell to where I don't have a bunch to tell like that. Like, I don't have many stories. I didn't have like this wild childhood.
I didn't either.
Amy, you could probably sit here and tell like 48 stories and I could probably tell 8 or 4.
Well, then I'll start.
I could tell 4 to 8 and you can tell 48.
I know when I was little, I don't know if anybody remembers like Underoos, but I was obsessed with Wonder Woman. And so I always had to have, like, my mom had to force me to take my underoos off so she could just wash them. I would wear them.
Is Underoos underwear?
Yeah, like it's like a little undershirt and like little panties. But I would wear the underoos panties over my regular panties.
Okay.
And back then we had terry cloth panties.
Back then, the 1800s.
Yeah, back in the 1800s. So I would always, that's when they first came out with those Fisher-Price tape players. And I was obsessed with Eddie Rabbit. And so I would put on my roller skates and my Wonder Woman underoos and skate back and forth and listening to Eddie Rabbit and go like in circles in the neighborhood like Wonder Woman used to do. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
You never watched Wonder Woman?
Nope.
Well, I was going to be Wonder Woman when I was little.
You made your dreams come true. You are my Wonder Woman. I wonder about you all the time.
But that was like, I would just remember that being a fun childhood thing.
We used to skate. We had a basement in the, like, kids talking about skating around the neighborhood or whatever. We had a basement and in our house, and it had poles, like, I guess the sturdy poles.
I would have loved that.
We know. One time so we would wear our roller skates in the basement and skate around and race and stuff, but our poles would have like things that would stick out.
Choking.
Amy always has to bring a dog choking, pooping, farting up to
Scooby's
the camera.
got gas today too, by the way, if you hear that.
And they can't. If we can't hear it in our headphones, they can't hear it.
Okay.
Oh. So anyway, there was like this piece, and I would grab. They can hear that. They heard that. She behind the camera throwing up. But I would skate around like, not like a stripper was. I didn't really know what a stripper was then. Amy, I obviously wanted to be a stripper, I guess. But it had these things, and it got caught to my hoodie one time, and I was skating around it, and it ripped my hoodie. But we skated like that in the basement. No, like it caught like the arm and just put a hole in my hoodie.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I thought I was cool. I used to drive my bike around the church parking lot.
She lived in the church. At the church.
I didn't live in the church. We lived in the parsonage, but I feel like I've said that if they've listened before, but I don't know. But we lived in the parsonage growing up, so like it was like 20 steps from my house to the church, and it was the parking lot literally is what separated us. But so we would ride our bikes in the top parking lot and the bottom parking lot. And I used to go and get my imaginary girlfriends. I put myself on full blast with these kids' stories. I was on my motorcycle, but my bike was like pink and purple. I didn't like them colors, but it was all I had to choose from. And I would ride around, like, our church had, like, a wheelchair ramp to get on the first, like, thing to get to the front doors, and I would ride my bike up on that. And I would stop at the big 2 white doors, and I would load me up some girls on my motorcycle. And for a while, my mom made me wear a helmet, so I was riding my motorcycle with a helmet. If I have any pictures of me, no, it was like my helmet had butterflies on it. I'll see if I can find a picture, and I'll have to post it and be like, "This is what I look like picking up my girls."
When I was little, I guess I was in kindergarten. I specifically remember wanting to take this magazine to school for show and tell. And I guess, looking back when I hear my mom tell the stories, I guess my mom and her friends had made such a big deal about this magazine. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take this to school for show and tell. So I snuck it in my book bag and I took it for show and tell. Well, my mom got a note. I had to send a note home to my mom from the teacher. And fast forward, I didn't know even what I did back then or what was wrong. But I had taken a Playgirl magazine that my mom had for show and tell. And so my mom had a note from the teacher saying that this is very inappropriate material for a kindergartner to bring to show and tell if she could be more careful about her belongings.
Did you at least get to show it?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I mean, I guess I tried to.
I guess you remember, like, you
it.
wouldn't remember that. I feel like your mom wouldn't, like, tell the story again or something.
Like,
or you do remember
I found out later on that's what it was. Like, I didn't know. I don't remember
okay.
at the time. Like, after I grew
this
up.
is what I brought for show and tell. And then you flip that first page and the kids are like, huh?
But I guess my mom had said that there was, like, a guy that they worked with that posed for it. And so all the women at the work were passing it around. And so I passed it around.
The difference in our childhoods. Like, we are completely different. Like, one time
at band camp.
Oh, never went to band camp.
I didn't either.
One time I got mad at my mom. And remember, we lived beside the church, 20 feet from the church. I got mad at my mom. And I packed up... Sorry. Packed up my book bag. I mean, when I say I packed up my book bag, I put stuffed animals. I remember this so vividly. I don't know what I was mad at her about, but she made me mad. And I packed up my book bag and I walked to the back steps of the church and I hid. And I hid for like, I don't even know how long it was. It was probably about an hour. And then I hear her yell out the door, "Elizabeth, it's dinner time." And so I went back home. And I was like, "Did you not even know I was going?" She's like, "I thought you were outside playing." I was like, "No, I ran away from home." And she's like, "Sit down and eat." And that was it. Right, I had nowhere to go.
And it was like a huge deal in your life that you were running away from home.
Yeah, like, because
nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
But then you really did.
And nobody knew for a while until they found the note I left.
What, your pretend runaway or your real one?
My real one. They didn't know. Mom didn't know I ran away for the fake one. I was just sitting on the back porch hoping they would like call the cops or something that their daughter was missing, and then they never even knew. And I come back, I had a Rocket Power backpack. I don't know if y'all ever watched Rocket Power. But yeah, that was another story that me being mischievous. I don't even know why I was mad at her, but I ran away because I was. But I was too scared to go outside the church parking lot. I do know that.
She's a rebel.
No, I'm not.
One time, the neighborhood we used to live in had, at the end of our street, it had a dead end. And all the hood kids would call it, "Let's go to the dead end." Well, we used to hang out at the dead end when we were little, and it was kind of innocent. Well, then we started smoking cigarettes, and that's what we would go down to the dead end for. Well, so me and my friend went down to the dead end to smoke cigarettes. And we found, the night before, a bunch of boys had rolled my house, like with toilet paper and stuff. And so we found like their duffel bag full of toilet paper that they had rolled my house with. And I was like,
How old were you?
I wasn't driving.
Okay.
So maybe 13, 14.
Okay.
I don't know. Too young to be smoking cigarettes. So
you found their duffel bag.
Yeah, and so my mom worked second shift. And we had a tribe level home. So me and my friend hung out in the bottom floor of our home. And then, because she was gone to work. And then, like, my grandmother and stuff, they were sleeping upstairs. So we snuck out. And I wore all black. And she wore all black, except I didn't have any more black boots. So she had to wear white boots. And she was so mad at me because she had to wear the white boots. And we just knew we were going to go to jail. So we snuck out. And we're like extra spy, like we're looking around like that and stuff. And then we come across a cop car. And we got really super scared. So we went down a different street and so we tried to roll somebody's house and we didn't know how to do it. So it didn't work. So we thought, well, we'll roll this person's boat because we can get up in here and roll it around and stuff like that. And that didn't work either. So we gave up and went back home.
And what'd you do with the toilet paper?
I don't remember it.
Okay, so.
But we're so scared. That's the only time I ever snuck out. And we never did it again.
I never snuck out, but I did run away. But talk about her to go into the dead end to smoke cigarettes. I used to pick. That was so loud. You duck. Let me turn you down a little bit.
Why? You wanted me to talk.
But your laugh was loud. She used to sneak out, or I don't know if y'all snuck out. Y'all would just go to the dead end to smoke.
Yeah. We would sneak and smoke.
Sneak and smoke. I was the type of kid that I was pissed off when I found cigarette butts. When I don't know if they were always there, and then I just grew up and realized like it was like, oh my gosh, there's cigarette butts all around the church parking lot. I was flabbergasted that people in our church smoked cigarettes. You cannot be saved and smoke a cigarette. Was going through my head. So I got mad, and I would watch to see who would be smoking on a Sunday or a Wednesday night.
Judgy Judgerton over here.
The way I was raised. And I would watch. And then they would throw their cigarette butts. And I was like, I can't believe they're smoking. So I started to collect the cigarette butts and pick them up and put them in plastic bags. Or a plastic bag? Or a Ziploc bag. Like a lunch snacky bag. Okay? So I did this for a couple weeks. And I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't want to get caught with them. I didn't know if I could throw them in the trash. So I put them in my toy box in my bedroom. Just some Ziploc bags of cigarette butts full to the brim. I was so mad at the church members. And then my mom came in my room one day. She said, Elizabeth, we got to ask you something. I got a smudge on my glasses. I was like, okay. She goes, well, your room is starting to smell like cigarettes. Have you been smoking? And I said, no. And she said, well, we smell it, but we can't find it. The cigarettes. And I was like, oh. So I went and dug out of my toy box and got the bags of cigarette butts and gave them to my parents and told them the story. They weren't mad. They just said, don't collect them. That's disgusting. That was it. I didn't get in trouble. But she went to smoke them, and I was the one, like, judging you. I don't care anymore.
But I was the cool kid.
I mean, I don't smoke, but I don't judge you if you smoke. And I don't think, back then I was determined if you smoke, you was going to hell. But that was just a prodigal, whatever you say.
Product of your raising.
Yeah, that was just what was. And I don't think they even believed that. But I think that was something that.
In your little mind.
In my little mind, that was so wrong. Because just we couldn't do it. But I don't like the smell of it. It makes me want to throw up. But.
Except on the beach.
I do like and I think it's a certain brand I like on the beach. Because I can smell it sometimes. I'm like, makes me want to like sleep by the ocean. But sometimes they make me want to throw up. You got another story? I fed off your story with my story.
I don't know. I have to think of another. I don't remember a lot.
One time we vandalized a trailer growing up. That's probably the worst thing that I ever did in my life.
You knew you.
And I'm just fixing to tell on us because ain't nobody know this. We did promise we would never tell nobody.
And you can't tell everybody.
All 5 people.
All 5 people.
I don't care. So there was, we used to play in the woods all the time because the parsonage was just like around a bunch of woods. So there's a ton of stories that I could tell. I mean, I might have more than 8. Who knows?
You probably do because I don't remember a lot of mine.
So we would play in the woods all the time. There was this one time that there was this is not the vandalizing story, but we would walk. And then so it would start to lead on to other people's property. Well, this one property said it had a big no trespassing sign. It had some barbed wire fence. Well, me and Ashton wanted to cross it. So we went home. And we got a pair of Mom's kitchen scissors. And then we went back out to where we wanted to cross, and we were going to cut up the barbed wire fence. Granted, I don't think we knew, like, how bad that was at the time. Does that make sense? I don't think we comprehended it. But anyway, we ended up breaking 2 of Mom's kitchen scissors because it wouldn't break through the barbed wire. And then we had to go home and tell Mom that we broke them trying to cut through no trespassing. I don't even know if I could read then. I still can't read now. So who knows if I could read when I was that. I don't even know how old. I mean, we were younger than 10. I know that. Like, it was probably like 10 and below. But so we would go around all the time, and you better be thinking of a story while I'm telling mine. This is so you can think.
Okay.
So
Thought of one, but I already forgot it. No, I remember.
Okay. So anyway, so we would just fiddle diddle, walk around. We would stay in the woods for hours. And so we ended up coming across this abandoned trailer. And it was right off the street, or not the street, the road. And like where we lived growing up, it was not a busy street at all. Like, we were back in the country. But it was right off the street, but it had a bunch of stuff grown up in front of it. So, like, you really couldn't see the trailer unless you were looking for it. And it was right around a curve. So, like, most people wouldn't see it. But we came up with this idea to, like, go look inside it. And so then every time a car was coming, we would say car, and we would all just drop down straight to our face. Because we did have other participants with us. And so then eventually we got up the nerve there was a window. It was a trailer that went straight down, and there was a window, and the front door was facing the street. So we broke the window, and they held me up to look inside to see what was in there. And it was just abandoned. So anyway, to make a very long story short, we ended up getting brave enough to go in there, and I might get arrested at 26 for telling this. It's making me nervous. What if my mom watches this? Anyway, we completely, this is horrible. I'm sorry to everybody hearing this story.
It was an abandoned trailer.
It was somebody's property.
Nobody was living.
Anyway, we was punching holes through the wall and pulling the fridge. There was stuff in the fridge, but it was nasty and moldy. But we vandalized that, and then years later, like, we were like teenagers by now, like 15, 16, 17. There were police cars that were like looking at it, and we thought we were fixing to get arrested. They were looking for evidence, and they were going to come question us. We called our friends that were doing it with us, and we're like, this is what's going on. Anyway, to make that long story short, they were trying to get the trailer out of the woods and, like, cut down some stuff. And then, like, a week after that, we saw all that going on. They were burning the trailer in somebody's backyard, and we were like, I know, but
they were taking it for evidence.
That is, like, the worst thing in my life that I've ever done, and that's a bad thing.
It's a kid thing. A lot of kids do stupid stuff like that.
I can't believe that. We didn't spray paint or nothing. We just, like, punched holes through the wall and kicked through the wall, and it was like a rage room.
A rage room. I was going to say, it sounds like
a rage that's room what it was. Event. I think we even took, like, our baseball bats and stuff and just beat the crap out of stuff.
You needed it.
But
me and my aunt used to go they were building a neighborhood behind her neighborhood, and I've talked about her before, like 7 years older than me, so we grew up together. But they were building a neighborhood behind hers, and so we would go out on, like, after it rained really good, and we would make mud pies, and we would play in the mud. And I remember making mud slippers on my feet. And then one time, we were sneaking and smoking.
There we go again.
And she said, okay, we'll take turns. We were in the backyard, like next to the fence to where you couldn't really see from in the house. And so she said, now you whistle if you see Papa come out. And I'll smoke, and then we'll switch. I said, okay.
You gotta talk louder. Okay.
What's that noise?
Gatlin at the door?
And so she's puffing away, and Papa comes out. And I'm going, I don't know how to whistle. So
Can she got caught. Oh, Nope, she can't.
Let me wet my lip. A little bit.
Oh yeah. We
There we go.
Oh, give me a. Ooh, that was as slow as you talk.
All right. And so she got in trouble and I didn't. Because she was smoking that one.
Well,
sneaking smoking all the time.
Yeah, but I can't get over. I do apologize if you're watching this and that was your trailer. I can't get over that. Saying that out loud in the public.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna worry about this. She's gonna say we're not gonna post this.
It's gonna stress.
I'm going to jail.
Oh, it's gonna stress me out. I can't believe I did that. I would never do something like that now. Ashton probably made me do it. Ashton was always the person that was getting me in trouble. She would be like, let's do this. And then we would get caught. And she'd be like, well, Elizabeth did it first. And I'm like, I never stood up for myself. I just took it.
Still do?
Yeah. But one time,
I
was just talking about one time that when talking about Ashton being mean, it snowed one time and we lived at the parsonage. How many times? I'm on mark. How many times I say that? 1, 2, 3, 30 times I said it today. So there was a graveyard to the left, and there was a street, and then a big old graveyard to the right. And it had a big old American flag pole just right in the middle where you can go sit around it.
Big old American flag.
And it snowed one year. And our friends came over. If it would snow, just to go back to those days.
That time for your grandma?
Oh, that's not what I'm telling, but I can't tell that. No, but just go. I was thinking, just go back those times like you used your house phone to call your friends. I know you know. And then it was like you had to watch the news and think, oh, tell them to come over to get snowed in.
Yes.
Yeah, like that just don't happen anymore. But anyway, so we had our friends. Well, one of our friends lived on our same street, so she could walk down. But we had another friend come and get snowed in with us. And so we got to spend like the weekend with her or whatever. And then our other friend would walk down. Well, Ashton told us all to stick our tongue to the flagpole. And you have to understand, you do not tell Ashton no.
Bossy McFlossie.
Somebody farted, man. It stink.
It's not me.
Okay. And
that one. His butt's right.
Hey, bro. Nene, you fart? Mm-hmm. So anyway, we stuck our tongue to the flagpole and it got stuck. And one of our friends got stuck so bad we couldn't get it off. Like we didn't know what to do. You want to know what Bossy Miss Flossie, whatever she say, Bossy McFlossie did? Shoved her off and like ripped her tongue off. Yeah, I told you this before.
It's so sad.
Like, it really didn't rip her tongue off. I'm being dramatic. But, like, it was, like, the type where it was, like, her whole tongue was stuck, and then we couldn't get it off, and Ashton just pushed her shoulders, and it, like her tongue was bleeding and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was, you never told Ashton no. You still don't tell Ashton no. Oh, gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this. What if they watch it?
I probably would have beat her up and made her smoke a cigarette.
Smoke this! No. Yeah, everybody was scared of her. But that's all the story. I mean, I've got more, but I mean, I
can't think of any.
One time we were walking in the woods with our friend and our friend fell down and she got so tickled she peed on herself. So she had to come back home with us and we had to get her clothes to change in because she was in pee clothes. One time Ashton talked me and that same friend to get in the trash cans at the church and she would ride around and pull us. We would stand in the trash can and she would pull us around on the outside of the trash can. Well, she was walking, pulling us, and she stepped on the lid, and we fell and got hurt.
I peed in my pants at my birthday.
Okay,
my friends were all singing "Happy Birthday" to me, and I don't know if I just got nervous because I get the nervous pees.
How old were you?
But I used to hold it till the last minute too. I think I was like 10. Old enough to know better. I pissed all in my pants at my birthday party in front of all my friends.
Were you embarrassed?
I don't know. I don't think so. I didn't get embarrassed very easy.
You do now.
Not really.
Well, she peed in her pants. She still pees in her pants.
Really do. And then there's another time I peed in my pants.
One time.
Oh, when I was an adult.
You've peed in your pants like 3 times.
No,
since
but
we've
it was
been together.
I used to teach preschool, and it was at graduation.
Oh yeah.
And I was so sunburnt. Like we had literally came back from the beach that day from like a girls' trip, and we went straight. So I was so sunburned Like I couldn't put on a bra, I couldn't put on panties. Like I just had like this sundress on. And so at preschool, like we would get up there and present the diplomas to our class or whatever. And I was standing backstage and I had the nervous piece and I had to pee and I couldn't hold it. And so I just peed on the stage. And then I went out and presented the awards and stuff. I went back and cleaned it up.
Amy.
I couldn't hold it. Like it just, once it comes out, I can't stop it.
Well, talk. I don't know what's going on. We've been smoking them cigarettes. Amy. No, talking about. You better don't make sure you're not stopping the camera.
Well, it's still got a light on. I was just checking the time.
Okay, so I'll tell this last story what we done. So one time, it was me, Amy, her mom, and Leah. We were playing a game, and it was I want to play this tonight, where you put the headphones on and turn music on really loud, and you have to say a sentence, and the person has to guess it. Well, I had the headphones on guessing. I think Leah was telling me the words.
Yeah, because you had them in and you were like,
Yeah, and so Leah was telling me, I was trying to figure out what Leah was saying, and my music was loud. I can't hear nobody. Amy got so tickled at that game, she peed in her pants in the chair. I mean, not even just like, oh, I peed, let me go change. It was soaked. It was falling out of the chair. Like, she drenched it. She left like 3 gallons of pee on the floor. We didn't play after that. We have yet to play
we
after
have never
that.
played this.
No.
That was so funny. Oh my God.
Let's play that tonight.
Okay.
But anyway, so these are our childhood stories. Like I said, we have more. But
and we went viral.
Well, we went viral. Let's end the video. Maybe this one will go viral. It won't. Ain't nobody care about our stories. I think they get more tickled when we just interact with each other.
We did. We went viral. How many likes we got?
Like 5,000. But it has like 120, like 5,000 views.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Anyway. Thanks for joining in. This is season 2, episode 3. I don't know what we're going to call it. Kid book. Kid story. Amy pees on herself.
Bye.
Bye.